I've been chased down in cars. I've been chased down with guns. I've been, a lot of stuff like that. But I think, ever since I was a very young child, I have, how do I say this right? I see dead people.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome back to the program, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out once again in the podcast here. Got another appraiser stories coming up for you. Want to pause here first and remind you we are sponsored by three great companies. One of them, of course, being Alamode. I've been with Alamode for over 2 decades. You should be as well. Alamode.com or 800 Alamode is where you find out more. Datamaster USA is where you need to go to find out how technology can work for you and help to save you time, folks. That means it saves you money. DatamasterUSA.com, DatamasterUSA.com. Finally, we are sponsored by a great E&O company, the best E&O company out there. It's OREP Insurance. OREP.org is where you go, OREP.org. Well, folks, I want to introduce you to a great friend of mine, a member of my all-star team, and an appraiser out of Denver, Colorado. His name is Mike Carroll. Mike, welcome to the program, man.
Thanks, Dustin. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you being on. I really do. I love to hear stories, and I think my listeners love to hear stories about appraisers. Tell me a little bit about your background. You come from California, but here you're plopped down in the middle of Denver, Colorado. Tell me about that story.
Yeah, well, I've been appraising forever. I'm 33 years in the business now.
Oh, wow.
Started
you look so
way
young.
back in, well, yeah, I am young. I'm only 34. But, I came from a background of, beach volleyball and ocean lifeguard and that kind of thing. And one day I found myself as a bank teller, and I was applying for a job as a loan processor in Florida.
Okay.
And my branch manager, Pierre Galler, never forget that man. He said, no, you're going to go be an appraiser. And so he got me into the home savings training program and spent some time with home savings, moved over to Bank of America. And
okay.
I've been a fee appraiser, been a chief appraiser, a regional chief with Bank of America. And then life found us coming out this way about 4.5 years ago.
Okay.
And,
so you've been in Denver for 4.5 years. What talk about that if you don't mind. What takes somebody from the upbringing that you had in California and drops you in the Rocky Mountains?
Well, in Orange County where we were based, we lived in San Clemente, San Juan Capistrano, that whole area.
Okay.
And just in Orange County, there were 900 certified residential appraisers. So competition was fierce.
Jeez.
And I was known for kind of appraising the really high-end, multi-million-dollar, oceanfront, bayfront, all the really unique properties.
Right.
Built a niche in that I found that, I'm bidding against people for every single assignment. So I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when I bid 700 for an $11 million property in Newport Coast, and I didn't get it. So I thought, gosh, we need to do something. We need to look around because the business is just not growing the way it should. It's not progressing the way that it should. And my wife found an opportunity with U.S. Bank. She's also an appraiser.
Okay.
She found an opportunity with U.S. Bank, Red Sky Risk Services out here in Denver, and we came out, took a look around, and decided this was going to be home.
Well, tell me at least you ride a snowboard.
I do not ride a snowboard. I'm a skier.
Okay.
Two planks down the hill.
Oh, fair enough. I figured, growing up in a surf city, you might switch the surfboard to the snowboard. But you're a man of my heart. I do skiing and my boys snowboard, so we're constantly razzing each other a little bit on that. And so
yeah, it's funny. Both my boys snowboard, both my girls ski.
There you go.
It's been good.
Well,
I learned how to ski when I was 13.
You're in a good spot for it. So I can't let the comment go, kind of a throwaway comment, but I want to circle back to it. Your wife is an appraiser. Tell me about that.
She is. She's been appraising actually longer than I have. She started when she was in college as an intern, and here we are. She's one of the best out there.
You work together as a partnership?
We do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And tell me a little bit more.
I should also mention she's also a real estate broker.
Okay.
And her business is kind of shifting more into the broker side, more the sales side than the appraisal side.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So tell me a little about your office setup then. Is it just you two? Do you have staff? How does that work?
Right now, it's just the two of us. We have trainees. We don't have any staff. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about. Possibly getting into, virtual assistants and just streamlining the efficiencies in the office, because we have found that, as most people have across the country, we're busier than ever.
Yeah.
And we just need to figure out a way to do more with less.
Okay. So what I hear, Denver is a pretty hot market. I think it's softened just a titch the last few years, but I think it's picked back up again, right?
It has. And in fact, I specialize now in Douglas County and Summit County. So Summit County is where you'll find Breckenridge, Keystone, Copper Mountain, all that fun stuff. So I've become kind of a resort appraiser at this point.
Yeah.
Which, kind of harkens back to my days in Laguna Beach and Newport Beach and more the unique resort kind of properties. And I'm having a lot of fun up there. In fact, I would say probably 65% of our business now is in Summit County.
Yeah. Interesting. I love this. Very similar to my area as well. Of course, I don't do an area as big as Denver, but I certainly have my quote unquote cities, if you want to call them that, in Idaho. But my niche is kind of the Jackson Hole Resort area. A lot of unique ski in, ski out properties, lodges, that kind of thing. It's a lot of fun. It's a very unique niche to be in, I think.
It really is.
Yeah. So tell me, you've been doing this long enough that I think you probably have a story or two up your sleeve. Let's start with a scary story that you might have run into over the years.
Well, scary. I've been chased down in cars. I've been chased down with guns. I've been, a lot of stuff like that. But I think, ever since I was a very young child, I have, how do I say this right? I see dead people. So I see and hear a lot of disembodied voices, I guess you could say.
Wow. Okay. This is getting very interesting.
I have actually had a full body apparition square off on me in a hallway a few months ago.
Oh my gosh.
Didn't want me to go down a hall a certain way. And I just looked down at my iPad and said, I'll be out of your way in a minute. And he turned and walked away and disappeared into the air. So
wow.
I was measuring a house one time and I heard everybody inside chatting away, and it was the guest house out in back of the main house. And when I walked in, the talking stopped and there was nobody in there.
Oh my gosh. So, how strange.
I get a lot of that. It's one of those things. Like I said, one of my earliest memories when I was probably 2 or 3 years old was being grabbed by a spirit. It's just something that's always been part of my life. I don't consider myself a medium. We don't talk back and forth.
Right. Okay.
But I just I hear them.
You act almost like I asked for a scary story, but you seem very stoic about it.
Well, it doesn't. Again, it doesn't bug me. It doesn't scare me anymore.
It scare the hell out of me.
I think if a pot came flying across the room, it would freak me out. I'd probably go running for the door. But for the most part, I have not had any really negative experiences. There have been times when I had that hair on the back of my neck. Just I need to get out of here now.
Okay.
But, because there's some less than good spirits out there.
Yeah. That's
I was in one house. I was in a house in Colorado Springs with 2 of my trainees, and it was a very old home. It had moved on site, and I asked them, do you ever see anything? And they said, well, we don't, but our son does. He's 3 years old, and he interacts with this thing named Bean. But one day Bean made a bad face, and I said, he's not a spirit. You need to get Bean out of your house. And I showed me where Bean was, and I didn't have any interaction, didn't feel anything, didn't see anything, but it can be scary.
So it's Mike Carroll, appraiser / ghost hunter, right?
There you go.
All right.
Show on TLC.
There you go. Yeah, I can see it now. All right. Most humorous thing that's happened to you over the years, my friend?
Oh gosh. A long time ago when I was a district manager with Bank of America, I used to go out with my appraisers on REO properties, especially deserted, vacant properties, just for added security and just safety in numbers.
Sure.
And one time I was out with Rob Harris, and we got locked in a garage.
Oh my God.
It was a townhome unit. We both walked in the garage. The door closed behind us, and it locked. We're an interior unit, so the garage door has padlocks on it, so we can't even get out that way. And I looked over in the corner, and I saw, for some reason, there was a sledgehammer in the garage. That's all there was in the garage, was a sledgehammer. And we just took down the kitchen door. Well, that was great. We took down the kitchen door and then called the bank and said, yeah, you might want to go fix some stuff over there because the doorknob's missing. It's all bashed in.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Stuff like that.
That is very funny. I love it. We're talking with Mike Carroll out of Denver, Colorado. Mike has joined us for Appraiser Stories. We're going to pause here, Mike, and when we get back, I want to talk a little bit more about your failures, your successes, and some advice that you might be able to give to appraisers. But want to pause here and remind you of 3 great companies. One of them, of course, being Alamode. Alamode is the software that I've been using, for over 2 decades, folks, and there's a reason for that. And I'll be honest with you, I have looked at changing. People ask me, well, you just use Alamode because you've always used Alamode. Well, certainly there's part to that. It's very difficult to change between software. But folks, I have looked very, very heavily at some of the other software opportunities out there, and there are some great ones. And in fact, I would say most of them are great. Alamode gives me more. And I'm all about technology and being efficient, saving time, saving money. Alamode does that for me. You can find out more by going to Alamode at alamode.com or calling them at 800-ALAMODE. Several years ago, I switched my E&O. I was with a different company, and I moved over to OREP Insurance. Didn't quite know what to expect, but I tell you, folks, two things really stand out with OREP. Number one, three. I've had to use OREP Insurance, and when I say had to, insurance is there to help you. You don't ever want to use it, but when you do, you're glad that you did. And OREP was there for me. That's number one. Number two, OREP helps me to be able to get benefits that I wouldn't get otherwise. And number three, it has saved me time and money. It is a very, very quick renewal process. It will save you a lot of money over what you're currently doing. In fact, let me just share with you a quick testimonial from Rob. Rob says, just finished up my renewal CE using classes that were included in my OREP E&O plan. First year with OREP, after a long time with another company, the rate was 40% less. And the responsiveness from OREP in the process was great. He also talks about the 14-hour included CE that he was able to take for free being a part of OREP. Folks, if you're not already with OREP, check them out. It's orep.org, orep.org. Finally, we're sponsored by Datamaster. Datamaster is a great group of appraisers. Frankly, many of them are appraisers. The founder of Datamaster in Utah is an appraiser, created the company for appraisers. It's your ability to be able to handle data more efficiently. Folks, if you're not already with Datamaster, you need to check out, first of all, your area. Make sure that they are in your area because they do it right. They get agreements with the local boards. And if they are in your area, you need to be with them. It's datamasterusa.com. Again, go to your computer, type in datamasterusa.com. All right, folks, welcome back to the program. We are talking with Mike Carroll. He is out of Denver, Colorado. He was an appraiser for many, many years. And Mike, first of all, welcome back to the program, and thank you for being a part of this. I kind of put a bat signal out there on the Facebook page, and Mike was just very eager to jump in and say, I'll tell my story. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you bet. I'm having fun.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. All right. So you've been doing this long enough. I'm sure that, you've got a lot of advice for appraisers. Let's start with maybe things that didn't go so well for you. Maybe one of your biggest failures.
Oh gosh, that's an easy one. 2008. The market crashes, everybody crashes, and we all went down with the ship.
Oh yeah.
Luckily we stayed afloat, grabbed onto a life preserver and managed to make it through. But I think the biggest failure in that was that I didn't have a plan. I didn't really have a backup. I tried to leave at that point. I tried to leave the industry, but I didn't have a plan to leave the industry. I got into mortgage modification. I got into insurance sales. I got into so many different things. Got into acting. It just everything kind of it was a shocking effect.
Yeah.
What can I do to try to keep myself above water and stay living in my house? I think we learned a great lesson having basically a 90% pay cut in the span of a year.
Yeah,
that was definitely a failure.
Well, it sounds like you turned it to a success, though. And I love the idea of having a plan. I think that when we get in those, and I'm going to use the word desperate situations, we do desperate things. You've got to keep your home. You've got to keep food on your table. You've got to keep your family happy, and having that backup plan, having that idea of, okay, if this, then this, can really take you a long way. Mike, share with me your biggest success as an appraiser over the years.
Well, I think I've got two.
Okay.
Number one was meeting my wife.
Yeah.
But meeting Debbie was the best thing ever, because as an appraiser, to meet another appraiser and to just be able to collaborate and just be on such a same page, it really was life-changing and life-enhancing all at once.
You must have met her through appraising, right?
We actually worked together in the same office.
Okay.
So that I guess you can call it kismet. I mean, it took a long time. We actually hated each other at times, but
that sounds like marriage.
Competing with each other. Exactly. And but she became a best friend, and here we are, 21 years later, in marriage.
Love it.
The other big success is moving to Colorado. It changed our business. It changed the way we do business. It increased our income multiple times over. It was definitely the best thing that we could have ever done.
So if there's any appraisers that are looking to move, Colorado's the place. Idaho is not, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't say Colorado's full now. I mean, we kind of hit that level where there's no more work here.
Yeah, right. I get it. Yeah, that's funny. All right.
I think Kentucky's a great place.
Yeah, I hear that. So tell me, where do you see things going? You seem like a pretty visionary guy. Let's get our crystal balls out and look forward. Where's the profession going, and where's Mike Carroll going in the future?
Given that I've been here for so many years, I keep hearing that appraisers are going to become obsolete at some point in the future.
Yeah.
And we know that, we've got the bifurcated processes now. We've got appraisal waivers. We've got a lot of things that are encroaching on our business. But I just don't think that we're ever going to be obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be that need for boots on the ground. There's always going to be that need for the guy to for that personal touch. There's those properties that just cannot be done on a bifurcated process. They can't really justify an appraisal waiver. So I don't really think we're going anywhere. I mean, my business is growing. I'm bringing in additional trainees. I'm bringing in assistants. I'm bringing in, the infrastructure and the efficiencies to keep growing this business.
I love it. I love it. I love the fact that, there's a lot of pessimism out there, but people like Mike definitely see the bright side, the silver lining, or really just see things in a different light. That's encouraging. What's a one helpful tip that you can give appraisers who are listening out there, Mike? For many years you've been doing this. Let's make their lives a little better.
Well, gosh, there's so many. I would say let it go. Don't take it personally. Don't take the revisions personally. We always hear so many people say, I've been doing this for 25 years and I've never been asked for such a stupid thing.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. But isn't it just a little simpler to, it's in the engagement letter. They're asking for it. Just give it to them.
Address it.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the other thing is answer the phone.
I love it.
I'm actually, when we moved to Colorado, we were remodeling our house that we bought, and I couldn't get contractors to call me back. And so I told my wife, I said, I'm going to write a book. Chapter 1, answer the damn phone.
Right.
Chapter 2, return the damn phone call. The end.
I love it.
I
love it. Yeah, good advice. All right, you ready for the lightning round?
Absolutely.
All right, inside out or outside in, my friend?
Outside in.
Tape, roller, or laser?
Laser.
Very good.
Doesn't even exist anymore?
Tablet, computer, or clipboard and pen?
I'm an iPad guy.
Very good. Appraisal software?
A la mode.
Favorite thing to do when you're not appraising?
Travel.
I love it. Love it. And your one goal for this year?
Well, we already hit our goals for this year. We went to Hawaii and Europe right before COVID.
Nice.
So now we're just hoping to make it through the year and get into next year so we can travel some more.
I love it. Man after my own heart. It's what I live for is seeing other places. So, Mike Carroll, thank you. I appreciate you joining me, and thanks for being a part of the All-Star team. This wasn't too hard, right?
This was great.
Yeah. Well, I hope others can take a page from your book and tell their story. It's always good getting to know other appraisers. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Dustin. It's been a pleasure.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.
Let me just share with you a quick testimonial from Rob. Rob says, just finished up my renewal CE using the classes that were included in my OREP ORE plan. Sorry, editor. Let me start that testimonial over.